So in this video, I'm looking at a very low res image in Topaz Gigapixel version 8. So this image is actually magnified on the screen at the moment to nearly 400, well, actually to 400%. So the original size is only 640 by 960, so it's not even 1000 pixels on its longest edge. And zoomed in this close, obviously you can get an idea of how blurry and how pixelated and just generally low quality this image is looking. Let's just put it back to 100%. So real size on the screen, 1:1 pixel sort of size. You can see this image is quite small. Now it's a quite good quality image despite being low res because it was downloaded from a stock website and I just chose to download it in the smaller size to demonstrate this technique. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to come over and change the upscale amount to 4 times. So just going to give this a few moments to update its preview. And here we've got 4 times sort of magnification. Now I'm going to go to a side-by-side before and after here, just so we can we can have a little look. Now the problem we've got with this one and where we have to do a little bit more of an advanced technique is because it's got some text on here, we're likely going to have to use a different upscale model for the text than we are for the actual image, which means a bit of compositing in photo editor afterwards. So I use Photopea because it's great and it's free, so I'm going to do that in there, but you can do it in Photoshop and whatever you like. So first of all, I'm going to just ignore the text and I'm actually just going to look at the sort of the raspberries and the immediate sort of pixels of the cup and just choose a model here from one of the models, either standard or high fidelity, I'm sure it'll be, that gives us the most pleasing image of the fruit and not the text, because I'm looking at it now and I know this version it's not doing great things to the word taste down here, and I'm pretty sure we could get better results by using text and shapes, which is specifically for that kind of task, although that will not process the fruit and the other details as well, so we have to find a balance. So I'm looking at this now, and I'm actually considering how low res the original is, or fairly low res. I'm really happy with how these raspberries are looking without much more sort of adjustment. So I can drag the sharpening up a little bit to help to bring out those the little details on those raspberries. Again, I'm not too bothered if this is going to over sharpen the text area because I'll be using a separate output for that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to export this image and just save it on my desktop, and then I'm going to come back to this screen and we're going to process it for the text. So what we want to do now is concentrate on getting a good output for the text. And you see it's a little bit messed up here at the moment, although it's clean edges, it's not really able to render the text out particularly well, but that's okay because we've got a text and shapes mode that is specifically for tasks like this. So you can see straight away that's done a much better job at cleaning up the text and making it a lot more legible. And in fact, let's do a side-by-side A/B compare of the high fidelity and text and shapes. So high fidelity is what I used for the previous export for the actual main image and the raspberries and the cup, which is on the left, and then the text and shape specific output is on the right. So as you can see here, if we look at like the word taste, even things like the word cooking and the G, the one on the right hand side is far better, far clearer and more legible than the one on the right. But I don't like what it's done to the raspberries and other things. It's kind of lost the clarity on those a bit. So the best of both worlds is definitely required sometimes. So we're going to go back to this, apply the model, and I'm now going to export out this text and shapes version, and I'll join you back in Photopea in a second. Okay, so what I've got here is I've just got a simple document open in Photopea with just with these 2 exports on 2 different layers. So the top one is for the text and the background one is for the overall image. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a layer mask on the top layer that we're going to use for the text. I'm going to press Command or Control I on the layer mask that's created to invert it, so we're hiding it. So at the moment we're just seeing the one underneath, which is everything but the text is what we want. Then I'm going to put white as our foreground color, and here we're going to brush on the layer mask and we're just going to brush the text into this image from the good layer. So now we've got a combination of text from the top layer, but with the higher quality version of the rest of the image from the lower layer, sort of comped into one. Now you can see here there's some purple hint on this text, and that is either a reflection of something else in the scene or some like chromatic aberration from the photography, from the camera, sorry, which sometimes comes away as a little purple hue. So I'm just going to do a quick edit in that. I'm just going to click hue saturation, click that little adjustment target tool here, and just click down on an area of purple, and it will choose the color area that represents. So in this case it's magenta, and I'm just simply going to desaturate it. Now I'm not going to take it all the way down because it might look unnatural, but I'm just going to get rid of the majority of that purple effect. Now, to make sure that we're only affecting the area we want to and it's not changing colors anywhere else, go onto the layer mask for that, press Ctrl or Command I to invert it again. So now we've hidden it, and we're basically going to do the same as we did on the layer below. I'm just going to get a white brush, and I'm just going to paint it over that area. In fact, we could have just used the same mask as this, so let me show you how to do that. If we've already got a mask for that area like we have on this layer, you can hold Alt, click and drag the layer mask onto another layer, and it'll duplicate the layer mask. So now we've got that applied. Or there's an even easier way, which is you can hold Alt, click on the layer above, and it'll clip it to the layer below, and now it'll only be affected in the area of that layer. So there's two different ways to do the same thing here, and that's the final result.